Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is Days of Our Lives edition. Today is Friday, yay! July the 8th, 2022. And we are going to go ahead with this day's edition on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to give it a 7. I'm going to give it a 7. We caught some new information a little bit, which was good. All right, let's get right on into it. So we see Ben goes to talk to Clyde, and Ben is like, Dad, and he said, Ben, I did not do this. He said, I promise you, I didn't do it, or whatever. And he said, I put that on my grandson. And so Ben believes him, or whatever. He said, but you're gonna have a hard time having everybody else believe you. And then we see that he also lets him know that EJ is talking. He said, so did you have EJ shot or did you order it to hit? And he says, no. Now, Clyde. Now, Clyde, I don't know about all that. Now, I know you didn't shoot him. I'm not going to say you ordered the man. I thought he did, but maybe he didn't. Or he lying to Ben because he ain't put that on his grandson. But anyways, Ben is just like, oh my gosh, maybe we should, me and Sierra and I shouldn't go. He said, no, you're going to go. He said, I'm going to be out of this. Don't worry about me. And it was nice because they grew closer. And he said, you're going to be a good dad. And, I love you and everything. And, despite everything that I didn't teach you, you're going to be an amazing dad. And, you've turned into a great man. And so they tell her goodbyes and everything. And Clyde's like, I'm gonna make a phone call. And Ben was like, use my phone. He was like, no, I got it. And we see that Clyde calls Nancy and he tells her, I'm gonna find out who the man was that did this to me. So Clyde really doesn't know Leo's name. He really doesn't know who he is. I thought he was just like covering, but he really doesn't know. And I said, Leo think he done got away with this and everything. But I was like, Clyde, how could you not know? But you know, you see Leo be all in the papers and everything, but I guess he don't pay attention to it. So anyway, speaking of Leo, we go to Leo in the prison because he's going to see Gwen, and he said, "Did you see in the paper that the person they caught somebody?" And Gwen says, "I saw that, but I don't believe it." She said, "Because I think he bought the jewelry off of somebody and some rando, and I think you were the rando." And Leo said, "What?" And so then the security guard Roy gonna come in and he says, Gwen, don't forget you got art therapy and stuff. And he said he called her Chex Rex or Chex. I said what? Because I was like, what is he calling her? And she said he can't pronounce my name, so he just gonna make up a name. I said, sir, that's disrespectful. But anyways, and he said, and don't go missing like you did that time a few weeks ago. And Leo said, huh, so you went missing or whatever. And she was like, no, I was in the library. They don't trust each other. I'm not going to hold y'all long on this. They don't trust each other. That's what it boils down to. And so Gwen says, what if the person or Leo said, one of them says, what if the person who took the jewelry isn't the actual person who killed Abigail? They're two different people. I said, we already know this. We already know that little bit. So I thought I thought Leo was in the bedroom, but maybe there was a tunnel. I don't know. We're going to see how this goes. Cause I'm like, how Leo, how you don't know who stabbed Gwen or whatever. And I still don't believe it was him. Now, did y'all see the spoilers where they say it's supposed to be Philip? Oh, I love me some Philip with those dimples and stuff. I'm ready for you to come back, sir. But anyways, they say so they're leery of each other. So they're going in circles around each other. So then Gwen leaves, and then he asks the guard, Leo asked the guard, hey, on June 10th, was that the night she went missing? He said, how do I know? But then Gwen sneaks in after the guard leaves and she calls Ava because Ava had been with Jake or whatever. and Jake had to leave because they saw the papers and saw Clyde was the person. And Jake was like, "Why do you look relieved, Ava?" She was like, "Oh, I'm just happy that they found who killed Abigail, because Rafe loves to blame everything on me." He said, "No, you got out of this one." He said, "I could have swore it was gonna be Gwen or whatever." But anyway, Jake leaves for the baby Bo's christening, and so when Gwen calls Ava, she said, "Did you see the paper so you can stop worrying?" And Gwen said, "Nah, that don't make me stop worrying, because where did you go, or whatever." So we'll see about that, y'all. So anyways, speaking of Jake, he no, I'm not gonna go there yet, because if I went there, it would end the soap. So then we see that Jake, Leo. So we see Belle and Sean. So Belle and Sean are talking at the hospital. She comes, just to check up on him and everything. And he says, they haven't found Jan's body, and she said so she could still be out there. He said she must have washed, she floated out or something. She was like, "Nope, Belle is mean. That girl, even don't die. That girl is still out there." And she said so she could come back at any time. And then so Sean says, "Let's talk about us. I loved us working together." And she was like, "Yeah, that was good and all, but listen, Belle don't want to raise Jan's baby, period." And I mean, I can't blame her. Jan has been horrible to Belle, and she's just like he said, "Belle, I can't walk away from my baby," and she said, "I understand that, but I can't raise that baby." And so they're at a crossroads. And so she leaves Sean, and it is what it is. I know Sean didn't make this baby with Jan on purpose. Jan actually tricked him into it, but Belle just she can't get past it. She can't get past raising a child after everything that Jan did to try to get Belle out of the way so that she could have Sean. And plus, she says Jan will always be coming back for you. If she's still out there alive, she'll always be coming back for you. And Bella's just tired of it, and I don't blame her. So she goes to the mansion with EJ. Now, EJ had been with Marlena earlier, and I'm not holding you long. He had been with Marlena earlier, and he was just talking about Belle, and he was like, "Oh man, when I thought I had lost her, if something had happened to her." And she said, "You care for Belle?" And he was like, "Yes," because she had talked to him about Chad, and she said, "Chad told me about, your involvement with Clyde and all that." And he was like, "It's not." He was like, "Now that I think about it, I don't think Clyde had anything to do." I said, "Well, you should have thought about that before you ran down there." He said, "I don't." Clyde had no motive to kill Abigail and everything. And but anyways, they start talking about Belle, and she tells him, she says, "Well, what about Sammy?" He said, "Sammy moved on with Lucas. She don't affect his decisions." And she said, "Well, Belle always loved Sean." And she said, and he was like, "I'm aware of her relationship with Sean, and I'm also aware of what Sean has done to her, or whatever." And so EJ is just like, you know, I guess Marlena is warning him, and also she can see he really cares for her, and she's also telling him, protect yourself as well. So when we see Belle and EJ together, they hug, and he says, "What do you need from me? Anything I can do?" And she's a little bit standoffish. She's a little bit standoffish because a part of her, like, she's free to go back to Sean, but she can't go back to Sean because she don't want that baby. But then she feels guilty for being with EJ because of Sean. And so she just tells him, "I'm gonna go up to my room and everything." So EJ looks after her, and I think a part of him is just like, "I'm losing her," or whatever. So where do we go from this? So then we see um Ben and we see Sierra goes by and visits Victor, and she tells her, he says, "Julie, the town crier, told me you were leaving her and everything." And she was like, "Grandpa, I'm gonna miss you." And he was like, "You're not the first one to leave me to go around the world. Just come back and make sure I'm the first one you visit." And she was like, "Okay." And so she hugs him and kisses his hand and everything. And that was a sweet moment. So then we go to the baby's christening. Let me make sure I'm reading all this, because it feels like I'm moving through this so fast. Then we go back to the baby's christening, and we see that Marlena is there, Rafe is there because it's a godparent, so they're all there, and they made and they christen the baby, and It's a real cute moment. It's a sweet moment. Marlena and Rafe both had nice things to say. And so now we're at the dock. And at the dock, Sean is there and he said, I'm sorry. And she says, no, I understand you have your own baby to take care of and everything. She happy that Jan ain't in the picture right now. And so then so it's Marlena, Rafe, Sierra the baby, Ben, and Sean. And Ben was like, "Thank y'all for coming to see us off." He said, "I was hoping that Jake would be there," and then Jake pops up, and I was like, "They must be friends in real life," because the way they was dabbing each other up and hugging and all that, and they were just like, "I'm gonna miss you." Y'all heard Jake supposed to be dying? I said, how many people gonna leave this soap? But yeah, I heard that. Wasn't it last Friday that Lainey and them left the soap? Was it last Friday or the Friday before last? Either way, like every other Friday, because Abigail left what June 10th is when she died or whatever. I said every Friday or whatever, somebody's leaving this soap. But anyways, that's and so they all tell them goodbye. Rafe, Sierra is bawling and she's having a heartfelt moment with Rafe and with Sean, and Jake and Ben are having a good moment, and then Marlena and Ben, are having a heartfelt moment. So they all are saying their goodbyes and everything. And then Sean is like, let me take a picture of you three of y'all. So then, Sierra, Ben, and Baby Bo take a picture, and that's how it went off. But they do say they're gonna come back, so they leave the door open for them to come back on from their adventure at some time. So how long will you be sailing around the world? But anyways, that was the Days of Our Lives, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Even if you don't subscribe, that's okay. I'll still be making these videos, but hit that like button for me. All right, guys. Y'all stay safe. You be blessed. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you Monday for another edition of What Happened on the Soaps Days of Our Lives. Bye.